go. Most powerful ability in the game acquired. The run is going to get quite a bit more crazy very soon.
Absolutely massive, Toadette. Grips just took a few deaths getting sent back to that safety state.
I heard you guys like lore, right? Well, we have go fast left, we have go fast up with enemy, we have go fast down, and now we have go fast up without enemy. Charge jump acquired.
All right, hello friends and folks, good evening, good time zone to everybody here. We are here with our second to last round of 32 match for the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills Tournament in this fine year 2022. Tonight we are going to be featuring off two runners who are going to be Primorix, who's the 4th seed here, versus Sharky, who is going to be seed number 29. That being said, my screen name is Covert Muffin, and I am joined by Henry on comms. Henry, how are you, my friend?
Hello, Muffin, and hi, everyone. Hope everyone is doing all right today.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for this. Primorix and Sharky are two speed friends of mine, and they are going to be putting on an excellent show. There definitely is a big disparity here between their personal bests, so Primorix is absolutely going to be heavily favored to win and move on brackets. As we can see, with a PB of 28.06, he is one of the top all-skills runners in the world. But little Sharky is new to the speed game and has been making up great ground, right? Getting a sub 40 right before the tournament started. And now look at this, their PB is a 37.44, Henry.
Yeah, he's a controller player, so he's gonna have quite a difficult tricks with controller compared to Primorix with KBM, but it's not that something we have to be worried about.
Yeah, indeed. And we did get a chance to be able to talk to our runners beforehand. Sharky just mentioning that they picked it back up in the last February because their friend Vuligen, Richard, and other speed friends ended up like playing and loving the game and suggesting it. So that's really cool to see that just mutual friends picking up the game for fun. But you had a chance to get some notes from Primorix, right, Henry?
Yeah, I've been talking to him, and he's told me that he's feeling quite a few nervous about the race, and he's going to play safer compared to BB runs, and he's going to take no risk at all.
Yeah, indeed. And so, like, especially with that, right? The early 4th health cell Primorix is going to be grabbing. They're not going to be doing the double bash spider shot shenanigans that we see in Spider Sack. So just really trying to take a win and make sure that they close on their spot in the round of 16. But here we go. Our runners are going to be underway. We see Primorix over on the left, Sharky on the right, and my commentary name for tonight is Concealed Cupcake.
Nice one.
I love it. I love it. Oh, man. All right, so coming into here, our runners are just going to be moving over to the left, right? Grabbing signs going to allow us to attack things and grab Spear Light and continuing to move on throughout the run. And we expect our runners to be relatively close here. Of course, we're going to see Primorix's excellent execution come through because even though like we don't have any skills yet, there still is a lot of meticulous sort of optimizations that we can get all over the place in this game.
Yeah, optimizing early game can be pretty hard in this game, especially Black Root Burrows. But hey, we are collecting our first ability, Sane. It's going to be our weapon around the round, so right. Let's see.
Yeah, so there's a Frankie fight here. We're going to see how our runners do. We see Sharky being the first one to end up starting it. Nicely done. Great pacing, which is going to be a little bit more difficult on controller, while Primorix on the right being able to get those 5 shots incredibly fast. Very nice fight for Primorix. They are going to be the first to close that map and continue on moving to the right for our favorite sort of thing that is a physical object in this game, the flower pad jump. Which is going to be a bane of existence for a lot. And ooh, I like that kill on the slime to just run underneath instead of doing a little turnaround. That is going to save a little bit of time for Primorix.
Yeah, we could see on Sharky's side that he got the 10% energy drop in the bounce pad. Really sad.
Yeah, so energy crystals as a runners pick up the keystones and head to the first key door, trying to manage their health, right? So whenever you kill an enemy or like a destructible object, it has a 10% chance of dropping an energy crystal and a 30% chance to drop a health drop. And the first one of those that we end up collecting per run as we head over to Wall Jump Tree is going to cost roughly 50 something frames. So our runner's goal is to not pick anyone up unless we get a stack on the first flower pad. So having that 10% energy crystal drop is just such a big little BM thing that's coming through the game. But nicely done from Primorix, going to be grabbing the 5 XP in that flower pad as they head over to grab another keystone, while Sharky on the right is now going to be falling down in this area. Very nice pattern for them.
Yeah, for sure. Both of them taking the fourth energy health cell there to play more safe around the early game. That can be kind of tricky and hard with those enemies around us.
Indeed, very good point. So Primorix grabbing their experience is in really nice range, exactly 3 away, so they are going to be happy with that, opting to end up taking a level up on the way out, while Sharky is going to be clearing some more spores in order to be able to add in some more experience so that they can grab this time level up. And then leveling up on the way down, nicely done from Sharky. That giant explosion that comes from leveling up going to allow him to backtrack through that area without having to paste shots on those spores, going to save them a good amount of time. While on the left, after Primorix ends up grabbing this energy cell, they are going to be grabbing a different timed level up. Leveling up on the way back up is going to be a little bit faster. So nice optimizations from Primorix so far.
Yeah, Shaggy will have some troubles tracking his experience back because he leveled up in the way down, so he didn't collect the experience of all the brambles there. And we are tracking our experience in a specific way to level up time for further.
Yeah, indeed. So Primorix getting the wrath of Trojan as he gets logged, but no problem from him, taking an intentional damage boost there to use the iframes to get through that spore. Nicely done from Primorix. While Sharky on the right is going to come to the same bend, we're going to see how their movement is going to be. So here, taking an intentional damage from this line allows us to walk through, and then beautiful starting point on that jump. That was so tight. Sharky is just on fire with their early game so far. Very impressive to see, especially with somebody who has only been running the game since February.
Yeah, that's true. That's really impressive, to be honest.
Yeah.
Primorix did a safety save before dropping here, and he's going save anywhere to skip a cutscene.
Yeah, very nicely done. So save anywhere, just a glitch that allows us to move around with the ability menu up. But the important detail is exactly as Henry said. Crossing a cutscene trigger, saving the game, and then quitting out to menu and reloading allows us to either enter or skip cutscenes. So we're going to be dropping saves. We're going to be doing multiple save anywhere tricks, as Sharky also doing a nice job. Just going to have to wait for a little bit to be able to wrest control back from the game before quitting out to menu and saving just over 20 seconds. So nicely done for both of our runners, showcasing off their know-how with the run. While on the left, Primorix is going to be falling down, but that fourth health cell, Henry, paying off in dividends for them.
For sure, making a difference in Blackroot Burrows. That was pretty a reset if it's not a no reset run, but hopefully he took the 4 health cell.
Did indeed. Very fortunate. So Primorix is going to be coming up. Their laser cycle is going to be a bit off, so they are going to just play it safe, right? This is Primorix's strategy, taking a bit of a slower pace through certain areas to be able to just sort of guarantee that they have even pacing, right? They don't need to get a 28. They don't need to get a 29 in order to be able to close out a win versus Sharky. If they are able to keep this nice, smooth, buttery pace going throughout the run, then they are going to be able to close out victory. So Primorix's goal in this run is to catch a win by not taking a large, significant time loss. And so far, their safety strats are paying off in dividends.
Yeah, meanwhile Sharky doing a nice job with those lasers and jumping in these platforms. He leveled up Rekindle in the first save anywhere, so I guess he's going for Magnet for the Frankie walk, I guess. Seems easy to track the experience without Magnet in Blackroot Burrows.
Yeah, Rekindle is nice because it gives you like one additional safety save in BRB, which is Blackroot Burrows, excuse me. And that can be very, very nice, especially for newer runners. But Primorix doing a save anywhere, moving around with this difficult to see menu, nailing those platformings in Blackroot Burrows, all for the sake of just leveling up and entering this cutscene here. Then we're going to see Primorix end up running over to the right and then dropping a save, right? Primorix does not have rekindle, so they cannot end up rekindling a save after it is dropped down to be able to save again. They have to place a new save. But there we go. Nicely done for Primorix. Is going to be the first to make it to dash tree, nailing the cutscene stack. And now if they hit this blind movement, we're going to see them over to the left. And indeed, beautiful movement. Getting to that platform before wresting control back is just very, very impressive to see. Okay, upcoming here for Primorix, they are going to be the first to enter into a trick known as Frankie Walk. With this Frankie, we are going to be taking an intentional level up, as Henry was alluding to earlier, that we wanted to make sure our experience was within a specific range. So we only have a max energy of 2, and you need 4 to be able to open this door. So we're going to put 2 energy in, take a level up off of this Frankie, which is going to be a little bit trickier for Primorix because they do not have Magnet. And then leveling up refills our energy, allowing us to put 2 more into the door, opening it up in order to sequence break, getting Charge Flame Tree first for favoring Double Jump Tree, which is going to save a very significant portion for the run. Nicely done from Primorix getting through their first try, as Sharky now is going to go into their own attempts at Frankie Walk. Okay, yep, taking the Frankie here, moving it over to the right, as Sharky is going to be going through the spike pit. Nice, only taking a single damage from that spike, but oh my god, eyes on the right, eyes on the left. Primorix going for God Cycle. Do they get it? Yes, they do. First try, saving just around 8 seconds. Very nice kit from Primorix, as Sharky nails the level up off of the Frankie as well. But it's not over for Sharky. They have to make it through Death Gauntlet. Yep, nice wall jumps there. And they just get under the Froggy before it ends up hitting him with a chair. So nicely done, Sharky, staying out of that ring, as they are also going to be heading down into Grotto, as Primorix on the left has now gotten double jump.
Okay, Sharky going to, let's see if he gets the Crushes Cycle. It's gonna be pretty hard.
Yeah, so dashing to the right, just moving in that direction is not going to quite get it. Jumping up to be able to get that trick is incredibly precise. And now, Primorix on the left, utilizing double jump, jumping off of walls, going up. Up here is going to be a really precise sequence break. So using double jump to move up this wall, is going to get into the spot, gets it first try. Nicely done. And continuing to just move up, that's the direction they're moving. They're moving up a wall. Okay,
Sharky is pretty close to get double jump.
Yeah, nicely done. So where are they going to go from here? Well, it's just simply to the left, and Primorix is now going to be rekindling a save after crossing that cutscene trigger. Quitting out to menu allows us to skip that cutscene, saving a good bit of time. In the randomizer, it's really funny, even though we have dash, and we can only walk through that area, it does still save time to be able to skip that cutscene itself. Watching the cutscene allows us to dash, but just simply dropping the save and rekindling allows us to skip that. But Sharky doing an excellent job. Look at this entry. Sharky is 5 seconds ahead of their PB at that tree. So now here it is for Grotto skip for them. Are they going to get it first try like Primorix did? Oh man, that platform swinging, Henry. They do!
Oh,
they get up first try.
Really nice. That was really a nice skip from him.
Yeah, excellent job. And then dropping the save, quitting out, entering these cutscenes and skipping them. It's important that all of these tiny little cutscenes have their own unique visual cue, We can't see the large vertical line that is drawn within the game to be yes, cutscene starts here, We have to do it in the leftish portion of the flower pad, This one does have a nice wooden beam in the background for us to be able to tell. But Sharky just nailing all of these. This is so awesome to see. Wow, incredible run from both of our runners so far. All right, Primorix coming into Ginso, which is very nice. Nails some menu storage there to be able to move around in this first room. Getting that first try is important, right? If you don't get it first try, it ends up not really saving any time. So very nicely done for Primorix. Wow, doing these dash wides, going for the cycle, and he gets it. That is so impressive and just a testament of the level of speedrunner that Primorix is. They are on fire coming into this Ginso tree so far. Which is not a very good thing if you're in a tree, right? If you're on fire, you're in a tree, that might be bad for the tree. Like, don't call Smokey the Bear on me. This, oh boy. Okay, so we're going to see Sharky coming through Ginso as well. Henry, tell me about this mini boss that's coming up. What are we going to do to take it down?
Okay, we are going to do a couple of shoots with Spirit Flame, and let's see if I can get the 3 cycle, which is pretty hard. Okay, he's not. Okay, it still saves quite a few time with that quick flame.
Yeah, that's so true. That's an incredibly difficult segment. Primorix just making that look so easy. And so now Primorix is going to be coming up towards Bash Tree. Bash is just one of those iconic skills, isn't it, Henry?
Yeah, it's one of the most powerful skills of the game.
Yeah, it's amazing. It allows us to grab onto lanterns, enemies, pushes us in a direction, pushes the thing in the other direction. And we're going to be using this for a big sequence break that's going to be coming up, right? Like, normally we do Ginso escape, but instead we will be going for swamp entry, right? Bashing that frog over to the right to be able to break 2 ceilings is going to be incredibly important. And both of our runners are doing an excellent job, and it's just such a pleasure to be here casting this match. And Primorix doing a great job, and now they're coming up to Kidu, Henry.
Yeah, they are going to die in a specific spot.
Indeed, yeah. So grabbing some keystones here and dropping a save, nicely done from Primorix. They are going to be grabbing keystones here and then bashing up, right? Moving over, remembering that play-by-play, and is putting those keys into the door and then dying a very specific distance away from the door. Nicely done. If he was too far to the left, that would have failed. And so now with those 3 additional keystones, we're not going to have to clean the water. We're not going to have to do that swim in swamp. And upcoming here is going to be another mini boss fight.
Yeah, we are going to bash the 4 projectiles of this mini boss and kill him to can get access to the teleporter.
Yeah, okay. So upcoming here is going to be that swamp entry, and I'm excited to see what Primorix does. Meanwhile, Sharky on the right is continuing to pace away at this mini boss, using controller, having to use mouse buttons in order to do so, right? Their control scheme as well is like pretty much vanilla binds, which is absolutely amazing. And oh no, they take a damage there from the spore, but nice reaction falling on that platform. If they had taken a death, it would have restarted the engagement. And one more phase, Sharky gets through the boss. Very nicely done. Checks their health, and they see 3, but Primorix now on the left is heading to swamp entry.
Alright, let's see if he can get it. Okay, taking a safety save in case he dies. Hopefully not. Bashing the frog first time to get him over these spikes. We are going to use this frog to break these ceilings here. Got the first one, nicely done. Let's see if he can get the second one. Oh no, he failed the double bash. Doesn't matter. Okay, this looks good. And nicely done by Primorix.
Wow, very excellently done, and Primorix is through, only having to take 2 frog shots there, getting through there incredibly quickly, and they are on quite a pace. The 16-minute door is going to allow them to get up and over to that stomp tree, picking up our next skill. But man, all of the action as well on the right. Sharky with Bash now is going to be moving over. Nice redirect on that shot to break the ceiling. Here we go. This one's going to be important. Nice. I love this from Sharky, right? They just say, hey, maybe like an optimal strat is not something that is necessarily going to save me time if I have to try it twice, try it thrice, right? So just getting through that section by doing the normal strat, absolutely powerful and really good, and very good for pushing down your consistent time, right? The more consistent you are at strats, the more runs you are going to finish. The more runs you finish, the more likely you are to PB. And so here's Kidu for Sharkie. This is very, very tight if they're too far to the left. That looks good.
Nicely done.
Looks good. And with the rekindle, they are going to go through. And Primorix on the left is coming over to Kuro cutscene skip.
Yeah, Primorix is going to do quite a hard trick to skip a cutscene that is here, and nails it. Nicely done.
Beautiful, skipping just around 18 seconds there for getting through that trick first try and with the first shot. But here is going to be a routing divergence that Primorix let us know, right? Normally they take a spider shot here and they do a really difficult double bash chain, but no, just going for a spike boost, gonna drop a save here and rekindle that after crossing the cutscene trigger to skip the cutscene instead. So I love this from Primorix, right? He's going to be taking slightly slower strats, but are just like infinitely easier to just guarantee that he's able to finish out the run. All he has to do is get a faster time than his opponent. He doesn't need to PB in order to win the race. But here we go. Starting a save anywhere is going to allow us to skip a very long cutscene, but Sharkie on the left is now making their way towards swamp entry as well. Okay. Let's see here. So Sharkie is just a little bit behind their PB at Bash Tree, but they are still very close to it. So that is absolutely incredible that they are this close. So now Sharkie, for their attempts at Swamp Entry, they're going to drop a safety save very, very close. So just in case this frog dies, it's not too long for them to retry. Nice bash there on the frog. Bringing it up, bringing it over. Very nicely done so far. And now that the frog is in position, oh, great. We're going to see a no double bash method. So one more bash on that frog there, and then they are going to take a shot up to buy themselves some time, and then bash up and double jump at a precise time. Gets through there, first try. Nicely done from Sharkie as Primorix is moving on to Fast Stompless. Okay, heading over for Fast Stompless, Primorix is going to be taking a spider shot instead of going over and stomping the rocks that normally brings us to the skill location for Glide. So takes the shot. Man, the shot was high, but I'm going to call it. I think that shot was fine. So we'll see what happens. And Sharkie with a little bit of a death as Primorix gets through Fast Stompless first try. Oh, okay, Sharkie is going to be heading over and just going up to the plank in a little bit of a safer fashion, and then making sure that they do not taste those tasty, tasty spikes once again, as they are going to be getting their Stomp Tree, and Primorix is going to be going for Sorrow Bash. Okay, there's a rocket jump for Primorix, bringing them up, building great vertical distance as they are moving through, going up, going over, taking some birds on quite an adventure, making sure to grab that energy crystal for a little bit of additional safety as he's going through, and then bringing the bird over. Oh, that was very close to taking a death there, but gets through Sorrow Bash first try, and grabbing an additional ability cell, which we will be utilizing as we head over into Sorrow Bash, completely sequence breaking Misty as well as Forlorn. And of course, we still do need to go over to Misty in order to be able to finish out the run, because this is all skills, but oh my goodness, here is Sea Juggle.
Yeah, Primorix took a safety save before doing the Sea Juggle. We are carrying this rock up here to avoid doing all the way with Feather, which is really slow. We are going to do a tricky rocket jump here, nicely done by him. And we are going to collect Sandstone before charge jump. That is the typical route.
Yeah, it's nice. Sunstone ends up, if we end up picking up first, it does save a little bit of time. If you are able to nail that Sea Juggle, which Primorix was able to get very well. Sharkie not quite getting Kuro cutscene skip on the right, so they ended up watching that cutscene, no problem. Nice safety save there from Sharkie as they are now heading over towards the left side of the map to join their friend Primorix over in the tasty, tasty Spike Sanctuary. And Primorix takes a death to the laser trying to push their haircut. And no, Sharkie takes a death as well. They're probably watching Primorix and they were like, hey, he tried to eat some tasty laser geysers. Maybe these spikes are also tasty. And they both are finding out woefully that indeed, no, Spikes are not friends. They are indeed food. Okay, Primorix with Charge Jump now. This is normally the last skill we get in the casual playthrough, but we're getting it now. It's going to allow us to jump really high, right? It's going to give us some invulnerability frames. It's going to do a lot for our runners. And with combined with Grenade as well as Climb, it's going to give Primorix some additional kits to be able to work some additional speed into their route. Primorix almost getting another haircut there, but does a nice job avoiding it. And look at this beautiful movement coming into Misty.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty fast with C dashes and rocket jumps here.
Yeah, indeed. Very nicely done. So here's the Frankie. Beautiful rocket jump there. Doesn't quite get the charge dash chain that they were hoping for. Probably looking also to keep an additional energy for a little bit of safety. We'll see if they do the cutscene skip that Rin actually brought to the community recently. It looks like that is going to be the intention. So coming over here, charging up the save, dropping it, crossing the cutscene trigger, resaving the game, quitting out to menu and reloading. And that is going to allow Primorix to be able to continue moving on. But Sharkie on the right takes damage from those spikes, and so they are going to be very low on health as they are coming into Valley. Okay, we got an update for Sharkie as they hit that Charge Flame tree. Just around 20 seconds behind their PB. This is absolutely still like very close to PB pace for Sharkie. Just unreal that Sharkie's putting on such an incredible performance. Coming over here, bashing off the bird, going up, right? Then luring the bird over to hit the wall, jumping off and stopping on the rocks, but no, that spike hit Henry from earlier ended up bringing their health too low, and so Sharkie taking a big death is going to set them all the way back to that waypoint. And it's totally okay. These things just happen. This is why Ori is a brutal speed game in general. But Sharkie, look at this, just going through that area without a single mistake this time around. Very nice recovery from them as Primorix has been just tearing up Misty Woods. Okay, coming over here to the left, there is going to be a mini boss for Primorix, going for the optimal, not quite getting the strat there perfectly, but just tapering their experience in such a good range to be able to get a level up to fully refill on health and energy so that we can burn that energy in order to get some additional time save as we are heading out of Misty, as well as getting an additional ability cell, right? Every time we level up, we get an ability cell. It's going to allow us to do a save anywhere glitch that requires us to level up an ability in order to save the game as we cross a cutscene trigger. So nicely done from Primorix. They are going to be heading towards their last skill location, and a sub 25 minute teleport out is a very, very good time indeed. This is absolutely going to be sub 30 pace, let alone potentially sub 29 pace, right? Like, this is just absolutely incredible from Primorix. They are absolutely playing to the best of their element as Sharkie is going to opt to not do fast Tompless. I love this from Sharkie, Henry.
Yeah, I like that our runners are playing more safe and taking some risks sometimes because you can afford so many time loss in doing a run.
Yeah, indeed. And so nicely done, Sharkie going to be stomping the rocks in order to teleport down to the location where they are getting feather. But eyes on the left as Primorix now with Grenade in their arsenal, the Holy Trinity, the Triforce, the ultimate holy grail of skill combinations in this game, coming over to the wall. No, they are not going to grenade jump. Primorix, why?
Not taking risks.
Man, oh boy, I bet Primorix is just doing this because he knows I'm casting. No, I'm just kidding. But now coming into Boulder Escape, Henry, Primorix, all they have left for them to do is head over to Mount Horu, conquer the final escape, and they are going to be walking away with a win here. As Sharkie on the right, going for Sorrow Bash.
Okay, Sharkie doing the two previous version Sorrow Bash. Got the bird. Oh no, that looked good. Oh my god, that was really gross. The bird was in the right position, but it went to the spikes.
Yeah, that was so close. Okay.
Okay, let's see the second try. Seems good. Oh no.
Yeah, that's so
Okay.
tough when the bird is so
Yeah.
low to those spikes there. It's just like, it's so easy to take a death in those locations. So
Yeah,
Sharky. Yep. And
looks good. Nicely
Yes,
done. Let's go. Okay,
let's
got
go.
it.
Awesome. All right. Sharky is through. Primorix nicely done working through Horu Fields, and they are heading into the final dungeon of the area. But instead of lowering the lava on the right, instead of lowering it on the left, we are going to be doing a single wrong warp in order to warp to the end of the dungeon itself. So quitting out the menu here on the left, Primorix going for door warp. Do they get it? They do. First try for Primorix, and this is on sub 29 pace. What an incredible run from Primorix as they are going for warp skip. This is such a big strat, and they get it. Very nicely done. Now they have to do a little bit of blind movement as they are coming into the final escape. So Primorix now coming through this first session, gets through, breaks the floor in the lantern room, bashing up and up and up, and he gets through. Now this elemental is one of the last few hurdles for Primorix, choosing to break it with a charge jump for a little bit of safety, and he gets up and over. Now all that is between him is Revenge of the Fish as well as the final grenade jump. But nice poison swim so far. He dashes through. Okay, does he spawn Kuro? No, he gets up and over, and now coming to the top, getting into position, looks good, bash to the left, nails the grenade jump first try, and Primorix is through with a high 28, a sub 29 in the round of 32, absolutely making a statement. Primorix is here to play, and they're here to win. Well played from Primorix. GG.
Yeah, GG's for Primorix. Really solid run. Meanwhile, Sharky doing the Terra break. This is quite a divergency that they had in the routing. He didn't did Z Jaggle as Primorix did. He did the Terra break route, which you do a save anywhere and you dive into the spikes with Z jump. That makes to somehow break the roof.
Yes, indeed. And wow, their experience is looking very, very high. This can actually work against Sharky as they go into the final area. Maybe they're looking to grab an additional ability for a little bit of safety, maybe a little bit later on. But if you level up before the mini boss at the end of Misty, it can end up being a little bit of trouble because then you like fully run out of energy as you're trying to head to Blackroot Burrows. I know my area names. And so Sharky's going to have to be a little bit careful as they're heading through Missy, but we'll see what happens as now they are moving to leave Sorrow and head to Misty to get a climb tree. Oh no! Okay, so a little bit of a high five there on the bird. Sharkies just get sent up a little bit further, but nice safety saves, and they're not going to have to travel all the way back from where they ended up saving the game at Sunstone. So on 2 health, they're going to have to get out of these tasty, tasty spikes, and they do. Very nicely done. And yeah, it looks like they are going for a modified experience route here, grabbing that experience on the way down in order to bring them within another timed level up, potentially later on in Misty. Very interesting routing decision from Sharky. I cannot wait to hear their thoughts on it if they decide to join us for an interview after they finish their run here. But nicely done bringing the Frankie over. They are going to be going for the rocket jump, and the Frankie is a little bit too far to the right, so they are going to be skewed a bit far over, so they are going to instead opt to do this casually. They cannot touch these spikes here because they do deal 3 damage.
Yeah, that was a bit spooky from him. Those spikes. I mean, he has 4 HP, but he's not in 4 HP right now, so he can afford taking the damage from those spikes. That's why Misty can be pretty tricky in speedrunning. It's quite a hard area to do without mistakes.
Yeah, indeed. And so Sharky's been putting on a clinic. Nice improvisations all over the place. We've just seen them really recover and like tackle so many different difficult strats and like difficult scenarios that they work themselves through. Very impressive to see, especially for somebody who's been running for 2 months, right? Like if I imagine myself running at 2 months, it is not nearly on Sharky's level. So very impressive stuff. I am excited to see how they work through the second half of Misty. Okay, dashing to the right, they take 2 damage from that slime, so they are going to be on 2 health. But I love that charge dashing on the bane link, but not quite high enough, and then pushing the frog out of the way. Get out of here! I don't need your green frogginess in my way, says Sharky, as they are continuing through. Next, placing a safety save. I love this. Going to be healing them for 2 health as well, because of that ability we pick up right before charge dash is going to allow us to heal for 2 health whenever we drop a save. So bringing themselves back up to 4 gives them a nice bit of safety, right? That's having that save spot just in case they take a death means they don't have to go all the way back from Climb Tree. But also being on 4 HP means all of these 3 damage spikes here, we can take a hit and not take a death. So beautiful play. I love this extra bit of safety that Sharky's providing from themselves, and another safety save, Henry. Great play. Okay, Sharky now going to be jumping back up, and no rocket jump there off of that worm. That's okay, because that is a very narrow window to be able to go up, and now coming into the meatball corridor, because all of these hanging little thorny balls we look like meatballs, so we call it the meatball corridor. I know it's very on the nose, but look, we're speedrunners, okay? And beautiful rocket jump there off the Frankie, and now upcoming here is the mini boss. Is Sharky going to be able to delete it incredibly fast? They bring the spider shot in, and they get one of them, so very nicely done. And now there's another one. Oh, not quite getting it. So now he is going to reset up, take a beat, and recharge up that charge jump, which deals 50 damage, which is a lot of damage in this game. So nicely done from Sharky, composing themselves and closing out the mini boss in fast fashion. And yes, they are doing the quit out to menu. This saves just about half a second. Oh boy, Sharky, person after my heart. Oh man, it's so great to see. Hey, grabbing 100 experience here, and that's it. That's going to complete Sharky's EXP route. It's going to allow them to be able to level up, fully refilling health and energy, as well as getting them an ability cell, which is going to be important because skipping a cutscene right before we get to the light grenade tree is going to be a big time save, right? It's like over a minute long, and so being able to skip that, utilizing Save Anywhere with those additional ability points is going to allow us to save all of that time. So very nice play from Sharky. Great level up timing there as well, because when we refill on energy, right, that means more charge dashes, more ability to drop safety saves as we're going through, more rocket jumps in order to be able to build height with charge dash in a very fast manner. So Sharky doing a great job managing their resources as they are coming down to this laser. Let's see what the cycle is. Okay, it looks good. And coming through, are they going to make it? Yes, they do. And now they are going to be coming up to that big cutscene that I was alerting to earlier, dropping the save, starting the Save Anywhere, and then going through the slow zone to cross the trigger. Leveling up ability saves the game, and then quitting out to menu saves us that minute plus. Very nicely done.
Yeah, let's see if Sharky goes away from grenade tree with grenade gems. This is gonna be something interesting to watch.
Yeah, we're gonna see what Sharky does to get out of here. Come on, I don't know if Sharky's gonna do it. No, yeah, this is completely reasonable. He is playing on controller. Grenade jumps on controller are a bit more difficult from my experience, from when I've tried it out myself. And okay, they get through this first laser. Henry, what is this cycle gonna look like here? No, it's not.
Okay, it seems like he's going to wait. Okay, he's playing safe, it's fine. I think he's going to take the 5 HP here in Be Right Back. Black Burrows.
Yeah. Dude, names are impossible, right? It's like, yeah. It's so...
Why it has to be 3 letters?
It's like, Be Right Burrowing? No, crap.
Blackroot back? God, what?
Thornfelt Stomp. No, that's a skill in Swamp, not the area.
Okay, doing a rocket jump in the Frankie, going to taking this energy, moving around with this bash and dash around Grotto. What's this? Groove? Oh my god, this is really hard. What's that? That doesn't even exist.
It continues. It continues. Okay, so Sharky coming to Horror Fields, grabbing the 6 health cell to make that poison swim, an almost sure thing to be able to get through. And nicely done getting over the elementals in the instant death lava pit as they are going to be heading to be able to spelunk underneath some lava itself, right? It's so like I have a question, right? So like scuba diving is in water, but like if you scuba dive in lava, that's like molten rock. So that's really spelunking, right? You're not scuba diving anymore if you do that. So I think Sharky here going for their door warp attempt. Let's see if they end up getting it first try. Oh, they not quite, not
no.
quite. The press was just a little bit late. And
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna be kind of tricky because it's one frame trick, so it's not easy.
No, it really isn't. And there is an alternative they could do. They do have that additional ability, so they could do a save drop here potentially. So we'll see if they are privy to that trick as well, if they decide not to continue with door warp. But yes, this is a 1/60th of a second timing press. And no, but they get
Got it. Let's go.
Continuing through, Sharky gets door warp. Very well done. Okay, here we go. Here's the final escape. How is Sharky going to manage? Those red spikes over there, yeah, those things are spiky. They cause damage, all right? Red things in this escape are something to be feared, okay? That fire, yeah, fire is hot and deals damage. Lava, yep, it's red. Okay, danger zone. So Sharky is not going to want to touch or taste any of these. And so, yep, the first area coming over here, bashes off the first. Second, third lantern, getting past the lava plume, very nicely done. And now that dreaded elemental room where the ground is on fire, but no touching the ground because we have Bash. So great job getting through there. And with 6 health and 3 energy, oh no, they touched the wall, but they are able to get through before Kuro swoops on in. And here they go. Coming this final area, they do get the Kuro cutscene, the Kuro spawn to skip that. And now coming up this wall, they do a left bash. Are they gonna get grenade jump first try? Come on, Sharky, good spot. He goes a little higher. They get it first try.
Nicely done. Let's go. That was awesome.
Let's go. And that is going to be incredibly close to their PB, right? Their PB was like just under a 39 or something. So with that minute-long death in Grove, right? Like as they were going in the valley, this could have been a PB for Sharky. What an incredible performance by them. I am so happy I got to sit here and cast this match. Absolutely impressive stuff. And Primorix with a sub 29, right? He types in the race time after, all right, got my goal. Boom, drop the mic, right? I cannot wait to talk to one, if not both of these runners as Sharky is crossing the finish line with a sub 40, closing out the 39-31 GG.
GG's for sure. Really nice time for someone that this has been playing for 2 months. Like, I can't believe that they're getting these times in only 2 months. Like, that's really good.
Yeah, absolutely impressive from both of our runners. What a treat that we got to watch this, and a treat indeed because we get to talk to both of our runners now afterwards. Sharky, GG on the excellent run, and Primorix, congratulations on the win as you are moving on to the next round of 16 in the tournament.
Thank you.
Jinx.
All right, let's kick this shindig off, right? Both of you guys are speed friends of mine. So let's kick it off. Primorix, sub 29, round of 32. How are you feeling about this for your first run in bracket phase?
Very surprised and very happy. Like my warm-up rounds leading up to this were not nearly that good. So to be able to recover from the early mistakes and hold it together was really good for me, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Very impressive run indeed. So Sharky, question for you. I loved what you did late game, right? So you ended up going on a lot of experience coming out of Sorrow, and then you grabbed the EXP as you're heading down to Misty. Is this something that you've been doing since you started speed running, or is this just like a tournament strat that you came up with for additional safety as you're managing your health and energy in Misty Woods?
So if I want to talk about managing my health, I can hate on the Ringo that made me at 2 health and die coming down. That guy is worse. But no, the Nest 200 is just something that I always went for, mostly just trying to make sure I had enough. I had enough to save anywhere at the right place, and yeah, Misty is spaghetti on top of mom's spaghetti. So just having the safety to not have to do that multiple times, I just didn't want to
Yeah.
embarrass myself.
Yeah, for sure. And like indeed you did not. I mean, closing out a sub 40 is an incredible time, especially for where you are at with your PB and how new you are to the speed game. Very impressive stuff for me, especially to see that.
Thank you. It's very nice of you to say.
All right, I have a question for Primorix. Primorix, do you have in mind taking this route of safety among the tourney, or it was just for this race?
So there are some safety strats that I pretty much will always do. So like 4 HP, I don't see myself not doing. Like maybe if I get to Rin, I think about it, but still probably not. The save before Crazy Juggle and getting the 6th health are things that I plan to check the restream for specifically, and basically see where I'm at if I can afford to take those.
Yeah, really nice job doing the run. GG's.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Sharky, another question for you. We do know like nerves can come into a performance, especially in coming into Valley entry, right? Taking the 3 damage from the spike and then accidentally hugging a bird a little bit too close, taking the death. When you got to that point and lost that like minute from that death, how do you as a runner in a tournament setting compose yourself to be able to keep moving on?
That's a wonderful question, and yeah, I knew I had the energy to drop an extra save right there at the bottom before I go up that ramp, and I just didn't. I'm like, this will be fun. And I mean, my overall goal, given my opponent, was to at least make it to the Sunstone by the time he finished, which I actually did. I don't know how, but I did. So I'm happier.
Awesome.
I'm happier than a pig in the mud about that. But I mean, there are times, especially when you're doing PB attempts or you're just trying to press really hard, where anything going off the rails is upsetting. Okay, this is where we are. Let's keep going. So you can't change the past once it's already happened.
Yeah, for sure. I love that mentality, right? Like, especially in tournaments and stuff, right? But you're going to make mistakes, and like recovering from that is just such a difficult thing. So, I guess one more final question for you, Sharky, right? Taking a loss here means that you're out of the tournament now, but you mentioned that you had only really recently started speedrunning Ori, and so it's been such a delight to see you play the game, especially here tonight. But that being said, do you have any sort of like closing thoughts about your experience picking up the speed game for the tournament? And what will you do next for speedrunning purposes?
A wonderful question. So, speedrunning is fun. Speedrunning can also be very stressful because, stopwatches just keep going. So, I've had some thoughts about trying to push a little bit further, maybe pick up the rando. I know Aiko is a wonderful human being that works on that, so I've wanted to pick in. I hear your excitement too, buddy. But so far, I mean, life has got some really big things coming up in the next month, so I'm just gonna try to not be stressed too much. And I know she's watching. My partner is recovering from COVID as well. So I just want to say, I hope you feel better, honey. Love you.
That is very sweet. Thoughts go out to your partner, and best of luck with your future endeavors. And thank you so much for running tonight, GG Sharky.
Thank you, GG.
All right, Primorix. So coming out of this round of 32, your next opponent is going to be none other than Daroka. How are you feeling about that matchup? And what is going to be sort of your goal for preparation going into that next match?
I would say preparation-wise, just kind of more of the same. Just stay on the grind, try to stay sharp. Probably do some more no resets with this route specifically, so I'm a bit more used to it. And I mean, as far as like the match, you know, last tournament I was the like lowest seed in the round of 16, so I was in a very
Right.
similar spot. It was not a great competitive experience for me. Had a lot of fun, but I got blown out. I hope to pay that forward.
Oh man, and the words have been said, the mic has been dropped. Primorix, GG, my friend, and I look forward to watching your race against Daroka. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck, man. You're
Okay.
gonna kill it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Let's go, dude. All right. That being said, Henry, thank you so much for joining me on comms tonight. It was absolutely pure delight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
That being said, this is going to be doing it for us tonight. We are going to be having our next tournament match, which is going to be at Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, featuring myself versus Turtle Run 2412. Don't miss that, folks. But tonight we had quite a crew behind the scenes helping us out. Sarah Barron, thank you so much for relaying stats and info as we were going through the race tonight. And Rin, thank you so much for joining us on Restream. But that being said, folks, we will see you Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be, if I can do caster math, 9 p.m. UTC. Yes, I think I can do caster math. But from all of us here at the Ori and the Blind Force All Skills Tournament 2022, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and we will see you on Friday.